My boyfriend is a spicy model, and my supervisor recognized him.
I've seen that ass around here before.
Posting here because my friends are busy, and I feel like this is the next best thing since I listen every week and love reading everyone's comments and opinions on stuff.
We'll be your friends.
Hey, thanks for listening every week. This comes from user I'm drinking apple juice on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. We like that name. I, 24 female, am a high school science teacher, and my boyfriend, 25 male, is an OnlyFans model. This is important.
Yeah.
Today after school, he helped me carry in some stuff for a lab I'll be doing with my kids. When he arrived, the principal, I'll call her Jan, was outside for dismissal and was able to meet him. While he was helping me set everything up in my classroom, Jan came in and asked if they had ever met, since he looked familiar. My boyfriend said he didn't think so, and that was that. When we finished, I gave him a tour of the school that ended at the office. Jan was still there and greeted us again before a look of what I can only describe as fear came over her face. She quickly excused herself, and we were left alone and confused. My boyfriend asked if maybe she recognized him from his OnlyFans page. I said surely not, because she's a middle-aged woman who barely knows how to use her phone.
She knows how to use it enough.
She knows how to use that phone.
With one hand, specifically.
He let me live in denial until I got a text from her as we were cooking dinner. She said this: "Good evening, OP." What a way to
Good evening, OP.
Good evening, OP. I'd like to have a meeting with you and HR person from HR tomorrow morning. Please be in my office at 7 a.m. How is HR supposed to get involved here? Like, this is none of her business.
Literally not. It's not even OP. This is OP's boyfriend.
OP's boyfriend.
And also,
that you recognize.
yeah, like you were on there. You're just disclosing your personal time stuff. Come
Yeah.
on.
But like, what if you're like sexually confused and you're trying to figure this out?
What?
In a
Confused.
professional manner.
I'm
You're like,
slightly
he's
confused in a
confusing me.
professional environment, and I
gotta
need HR.
tell.
Now I'm almost certain that my boyfriend was right, and she does know him from his page. He keeps trying to reassure me that it's not about that, but I can see in his eyes that he's at least a little proud of himself.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
People,
probably
I'm
not
kinda
about
famous.
that. Although I would understand if maybe she had seen me on the, I get around. My
She's
stuff
like,
gets around.
I got a lot of subscribers.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe she does. I've kicked him out to go buy me some stress snacks. My friends are busy and my family doesn't know he's an OnlyFans model, so I don't know who else to turn to. Maybe y'all have advice for me. I want to crawl out of my skin. We do have some relevant comments here.
I feel like they can't. What can they do?
Oh, they can totally do. It's like once it's like the school board and like HR gets involved, it's going to be like a matter of like professional decency, and it's like
It's
the
like,
fact
it's
that they
not
had
even
him
OP.
come in to like
That he
like
was on the
like
property?
help stuff in the classroom
So
or something.
stupid.
It is going to be dumb though that it's literally just the principal's fault for like subscribing or whatever.
Literally, she literally admitted to watching it, and OP's getting flack for
Yeah.
dating someone.
Definitely
It's
not right. I disagree. I think
Yeah.
if anyone should get flagged, it should be the thirsty principal who's like subscribed to one of her like coworkers'
Yeah.
boyfriend's pages.
I think that the boyfriend should put like his next thing, like his next post is just gonna be calling her out.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah,
suck.
it's like not even hot in any way. Just
Yeah, it's
him
just
being
him
like,
wearing a
you
full suit.
suck,
You
principal. Relevant comments. The dingo that ate your baby. That would be a ridiculous reason to be fired. I would recommend recording if you're in a one-party consent state for recording. She can't fire you because she's a naughty girl.
She's a naughty girl.
In response from OP. Actually, you know what'd be really funny before I get to the response is what if the meeting with HR is literally just so that she can be like, so what does he like? Does he like to go like on long walks on the beach? Like what's his favorite color? Like
Would you share?
yeah. Would he like to go on a date with me as well?
Can he do a shout out?
And I just wanted to make sure HR was here so that I wasn't crossing any lines by
Yeah.
saying this.
Don't you worry.
So OP's response to that comment about not being able to be fired. At the beginning of the year, one of my coworkers told me that another teacher got fired for wearing a skirt above her
Oh
knees.
damn.
So I don't know. I'm just freaked out, I guess.
Is this
And
a
then
Catholic
little-
private school?
Yeah, could be. Honestly, could be. From Solomon's Marbles, please say your union. Call your rep. Don't admit or agree to anything. In fact, just say as little as possible. If it's about his OnlyFans page, you're about to get paid. But here's a flip side. You said he helped you carry things in. Are you supposed to have visitors sign in? Did he? OP. Yeah, I asked for her permission a day in advance and had him sign in at the front office. They gave him a sticker badge. Okay, so OP's done everything by the book.
OP did everything by the book. It's not her fault.
It's not her fault that her boyfriend's hot and he can sell that
And he
hotness
knows
on the
it?
internet.
Come on.
All right, we have an update from a day after the original post. Hello, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to make a separate post for an update or not. Sorry. This is my first time actually posting on Reddit. I have an account for stalking, but my name is linked to it.
Wait, OP has an account for stalking with her name attached?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Doesn't seem like a good stalker.
She told you not to worry about it. Don't
Okay,
worry about it.
I'm not worrying.
I asked for advice and y'all gave me so much. Thank you. I felt very supported. Also, a lot of you clocked it. I do work for a religious private school. Clocking in.
Yep.
That's
while
me
your-
punching in because
while
I
your-
clocked it.
While your boyfriend's cocking in.
I arrived for my meeting at 7 o'clock.
Such an early meeting.
I know a lot of you thought it was early, but school starts at 7:45, so it was a
Ew.
normal time for me. I did record the meeting, and even though I am in a one-party consent state, I asked just to be safe. The meeting started with Jan, my thirsty principal, saying that it had recently come to their attention that my boyfriend had been, quote, publicly participating in lewd acts. I asked what she meant, since as far as I knew, my boyfriend had never had charges filed against him for something like that. That's when the HR lady, Pam, said that somebody, who they could not name names, but they just said it was a staff member, found his OnlyFans account. Like many of you said, I asked what that was since I had never heard of it.
He's like, what are you talking about?
They explained, although they did not look as uncomfortable as I had hoped.
They're all watching it.
Yeah, they're like, we want your boyfriend to make better OnlyFans content.
Yeah, we all looked at it just to make sure that, it was against the code.
Yeah.
And we looked at it a lot of times, and it is.
Yep, it turns out it is against the code. And can we go on a date with him? Then they asked if I had ever participated in or intended to participate in one of his videos. See, that's what they're
you
right
tell
there. They're
me.
like,
You're the one
"So,
watching him.
Are you going to get in
Are
on
you
that
going in
OnlyFans
them?
action, or are you just going to leave him out, you leave him hung out to dry?
Are you going to be in them?
I told them no. Jan said that I couldn't bring any unvetted guests into the building, so I pulled up the email thread I had asking for permission and reminded her that he had his ID scanned in order to get a temp badge. Pam said that it was due to the nature of his online activity that he would no longer be allowed in the school. I said okay, and asked if when I brought my dad to help with things in the future, would I need to disclose his online activity as well. Pam said that wasn't necessary, but that they couldn't have any teacher or staff member affiliated with a spicy worker. He works the spice fields on Arrakis.
Whoa. That's good. That's good.
I asked what that meant. What does that mean, teacher? Teach me, please.
I mean, I like that OP's like, I don't know what you mean. Say more
Yeah.
about that. Like
Can-
just playing like dumb to
Can you
get them to
explain?
admit stuff.
What exactly is the spice?
Hmm.
The spice work that you talk of. I asked her what that meant, and she said that I could not bring him onto school grounds, to school functions, or anything related to the school. Additionally, since the school represented the church, the staff could only have relationships with people who upheld a dignified image. Apparently, my boyfriend doesn't do that. She also said that if they receive one report from a parent, student, or staff member of my affiliation with him after this meeting, that would be grounds for immediate termination.
Wait, like OP can't even date him?
That's crazy
Ooh.
because clearly it was the principal who was familiar with his OnlyFans account.
Oh my
So
god.
if the principal is on OnlyFans, she needs to also be reprimanded because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that would be
That's
frowned
affiliating.
upon.
That's
Yeah.
affiliating. And also, I'm like wondering what this, what is considered inappropriate, like what type of relationship they're considering, because that is a very slippery slope that they already seem to be slipping on.
It's like, where does this stop? If
Yeah.
you're doing this just for me for this case, why don't we just do this for everyone?
Yeah.
Why don't we just bring back the Spanish Inquisition while we're at it?
Mhm.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Civil lawsuit. Look at the contract. See what you can do here. Play around with it. Might be tough because it's private.
Try to get the Pope on your side.
Try to give him a sign.
I hear the new pope is actually pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I asked if that also applied to the staff member who reported it in the first place since they went onto a corn site. Jan said that was irrelevant, that the meeting was about me, not about the other staff member.
Interesting. Interesting.
Seems like this meeting is actually about how the behavior of all staff members should be processed going
OP
forward.
should just like malicious compliance. That's what we should do.
Let's make this an everybody meeting.
Yeah.
And you know what else is an everybody meeting? Our lives on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. that you can join by just tapping our profile.
I think what OP needs to do before we get into this last chunk of the story, OP needs to say, hey, I want you to clarify what is considered an okay relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to list it out because this was unclear, and just like play dumb again. Be like, I didn't understand what you meant. Who am I allowed to date? Who am I not allowed to date? So that they spell it out. And then you can be like, here's a little lawsuit.
I think all the ducks, get them in a row. Clearly, like, if you're going to stay in a relationship with your hot OnlyFans guy, I guess don't do it in the presence of anyone who can narc on you. Because classic, full of narcs, the Catholic
Full
system.
of narcs. That's their whole thing.
Full of narcs. That's their whole thing. You narc enough, you get into heaven automatically. Free pass into heaven if you narc.
Yup.
Quick, okay, story time. My church in Tennessee would talk about corn, and they would have pancakes and corn, and they'd be like, they'd get pancakes, and everyone would be around, they'd be like, all right, who's watching it? And the guy would do this, and all the awkward teenagers would just kind of like be like, and he'd be like, all right, who's actually watching it? And then they'd have a talk about it and everything.
All right, it was me.
It's like a sweet, shameful day.
And then the floor beneath all of the people who raised their hands dropped out from underneath them, and they were sent straight to the hot place.
I remember we had at one of our retreats, we would do this thing where we wrote down all of the, like, I don't know, there was certain questions that we did that we had to answer on this sheet that were like aligned with, I don't know, sinful behavior or something like that, and you would write it down. No, sorry, it was like we would write down all the people we loved. And then after that, they would have us like puncture the paper with all, like, every, you know, if they said something like, have you cheated on a test? Puncture it. And so it was like all of those things. And it was like, that's what you're doing to your family if you've done any of this. It was really intense.
Last little chunk, the meeting ended shortly after. They asked me to sign an acknowledgement of the meeting. I told them I wanted to review it first and brought it home with me. My boyfriend is furious and at the same time keeps apologizing, saying that it's his fault, but it's not.
Aww.
He was just born that hot, guys.
He was just so hot. He was like, I'm sorry, I can't control it.
I have to entrepreneurship my body to everyone.
I'm just a big hot entrepreneur man. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what else I could be in life.
The standards for teachers are crazy. We're going to have a little Indeed/LinkedIn date. So hopefully I can get out of there ASAP. Lesson learned, though, never take a job at a religious school. And we do have some top comments. Just read this one from Not Sloth Beard. You missed your opportunity to ask Jan in front of HR if she ever figured out where she knew your boyfriend from, since she said he looked familiar to her. Oh, yeah, that would have been a great move. But I think HR would have just flipped it around and been like, this is a meeting about you. This is not about Jan. This is a meeting about you. Jan can't do that because that staff member is Jan. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's the one who noticed.
Yes.
There is no other staff member.
Exactly.
It's just Jan.
It was Jan. It's all Jan's fault. And I feel like the person who wrote this story definitely took like a lot of names from The Office.
Yeah.
Because we got Jan and Pam. So that means that her boyfriend is Michael Scott. Oh, Michael Scott OnlyFans. Michael Scott OnlyFans would be really funny because he wouldn't even make any OnlyFans content.
No.
It would just be like amateur, like magician tricks and like bad stand-up comedy.
Be like, bad magician does some dirty things with his hands, and he does a card trick.
Yeah,
you gotta find your niche.
Bad magician.
Guys, my hands are peeling.
It's true. Can you show us?
Yeah, dude. They're like
Oh,
rugged.
Disgusting.
Got so many calluses here.
Ew.
How does it happen, Riley?
Well, I decided to like work out with chalk because whoever doesn't use chalk and do pull-ups is a psychopath.
I use chalk all the time.
See, she's not a psychopath. And they just started peeling, and now they're kind of bleeding, but I don't know what to do with them.
You know, Riley, like, I want you to keep working out and become a big, hunky man. But first, I think there's someone you gotta call.
Who's that?
ZocDoc! ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you.
And instantly book appointments with them online.
And these doctors all have verified reviews from actual real patients.
We're talking about booking appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed, credible doctors and specialists.
And Sophia, you can filter for ones that take your insurance.
And treat basically any condition you're searching for.
And the typical wait time to see a doctor book on ZocDoc is just between 24 and 72 hours.
Sometimes even same day.
Guys, I use ZocDoc, we use ZocDoc. You should freaking use it!
Go to ZocDoc.com/OKOP and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/OKOP, ZocDoc.com/OKOP. Let's get back to the show.
My coworkers' food makes me physically ill, so they called me racist.
Oh,
So I have a Korean coworker who was adopted when she was a baby by the whitest people I have ever met. I'm Hispanic and also adopted by the whitest people ever. So we, I guess, bonded over it at first. By the way, this comes from OK Television 1108 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So she talks about her heritage, though, as if she was raised Korean and pretends she doesn't have white parents, which I don't understand, but to each their own. So this coworker is constantly bringing Korean food into the office that smells so intense or bad, the entire office smells for the rest of the day. I have a sensitive stomach with smells and cannot handle it constantly. We also work an extremely small office space, so this isn't space where I can ask to move desks, or I'm bothered by some faint smell in the distance. Now, I wouldn't have an issue if it was once in a while, even once a week, but it's making me physically ill at my desk every day for months now. I really cannot emphasize enough that it's not the smell of intense seasonings or ingredients that is turning my stomach, but it actually smells like expired bad food.
Oh.
See, this is a slippery slope, though.
so what this person is describing is fermentation.
Yeah. I think there is more, but I think so far, based off what we know, I don't think you can directly go up to her because you can be kind of culturally insensitive. So I think maybe going to the, your boss or whatever and saying, hey, can we just have a rule where we don't eat inside the office?
Yeah,
Something like that. If it's really
I feel like
affecting
there's a
you.
way you can, if you're being pushed to the point of like nausea and like
Yeah, I
barfing,
think there's a way where you can be
that you
considerate.
can be like,
if
hey,
this is
it's
actually,
not about your Korean food. It's just that I am getting ill.
I am getting
Like,
physically
Can
ill.
you please help me?
Yesterday was the worst. I couldn't take it anymore. I politely apologized and asked her if she could maybe consider eating in the break room because my stomach couldn't handle the smells.
Oh.
I would ask the same if our buddy Sam was bringing tuna sandwiches in.
Let's replace tuna sandwiches with clam chowder.
Clam chowder. Sam always eats clam chowder, and that's pretty stinky.
Oh, yes.
I think I said I'm so sorry 10 plus times in the process of asking because I know she is sensitive to it. She got quiet and threw out her food.
Oh,
no.
Damn. And again, I apologized 100 times, but now the food was in the trash can, so she hasn't actually finished anything or fixed anything.
Wait, read the next part.
Next to my desk, and it was deadly the whole day. That sucks. Dang.
Dude, that's perfect.
Dang.
You're having a problem, but you're trying to make it someone else's issue. It's like it's your issue. You need to be able to figure it out independently of other people.
OP?
Yeah. If you're like like the Korean food or the kimchi, whatever the smell is, it just like drives me insane. It's like, well, you don't have the right to tell someone that they just can't eat food.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So you need to figure out how to solve it on your own.
Yeah.
Though I do think that there is a way, again, where they could just talk to they could say, hey, let's not eat in the That would be the only thing they could do.
Yeah, but then everyone can't eat in the office now.
Yeah.
And then it creates a problem for
That's true.
everybody.
That's
it's
true.
like
So you gotta
your
suck it up.
solution is either nose plugs or Vicks Vapor Rub or
Something like that.
I don't know, growing up. And stop being so racist.
I actually had to ask if I could go home an hour early, and she made an off remark that I didn't have to pretend to be sick. She wouldn't bring her culture to work again. I assumed things would be tense, but I woke up this morning to a bunch of posts on her social media dragging me by name as a racist. She went as far as calling me a white supremacist. OP is not white.
Yo, what?
The beginning of the story, OP was like, I'm not white. In one, and said that I told her she wasn't allowed to eat anything non-American in the office as it offended me. That lady's going too far. That lady is going too far. That's not what happened at all.
That's the craziest take you
That's
could possibly
crazy.
have on that after someone apologizes
Yeah,
100
it's like,
times.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. It's making me violently ill. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Racist!
My boss even said we had to have a meeting this afternoon regarding issues with coworkers, which this is obviously it. And now I'm terrified of going to be fired for being a racist.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
you shouldn't even be terrified. You should just be like, here comes the money.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't
Wrongful
done
termination lawsuit
You literally haven't done
incoming.
I tried to apologize to her and tell her there may have been a misunderstanding, but she cried about how insulting her cultural food was the deepest racist attack she has ever experienced. And she doesn't feel safe working with me anymore.
Hey,
my
if that's the
gosh.
deepest, most racist attack you've ever experienced, good for you.
Fair. That is yeah.
If that's the
Damn.
worst racist thing that's ever happened to you, you haven't had a lot of racism in your life, it sounds like.
My other coworker previously mentioned, Sam, that said that my comparison to him bringing tuna wasn't the same because it has nothing to do with his heritage.
It is a
He's-
white person thing to do, but nothing to do with
He's like, it's not to do with my. He's like, it just sucks.
No,
You
it's
don't
like
my
that,
tuna.
but that's the point. My point isn't that I hate this South
Yeah.
Korean food. It's I hate food that smells bad and makes me want to barf.
Yeah.
Like, has nothing
That's
to do
all-
with
that's
being
all I'm
South
saying.
Korean.
He said that maybe my nausea is really some repressed racism. He's like, maybe your racism kind of comes up as like a
Yeah.
physical response.
Yeah. There's been a lot of
Did you think
interesting
about that?
studies recently about racism being held in the
Yeah.
gut. Yeah.
It's like all about your microbiome.
Yeah, if your microbiome's racist, it's going to show up in your day-to-day.
I don't even know how to process all this. I genuinely feel like I'm losing my mind. I didn't mean to offend anyone, let alone this badly. Reddit, am I the a-hole?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Fix your gut biomes.
You are the a-hole. 100%. You racist. If you hate every single South Korean person, just say so. Don't hide behind this flimsy veil of like fermented foods making your
Yeah.
stomach upset.
And if you don't want to be racist anymore, just say you hate everyone, and then people will accept that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Easy.
I
thing to
hate
fix.
everybody. I'm racist to all humans.
Well, that's cool.
On a real level, though, I do understand
That was
why.
a real level.
We're getting
No,
real.
I'm
because-
pivoting away from racism and back to the food thing, because.
Yeah.
But it's a thing with like truffle oil stuff, like black truffle, like white truffle,
yeah.
anything truffle.
Truffle.
Like the smell of it, my brain, like if I smell it, is like, do not eat that.
Yeah.
Get it away from you. But the taste of it, I actually like. But just the smell of truffle oil stuff, like makes me want to reject the food. Like.
I think there's also just, etiquette around bringing anything like really scenty
Yes,
into a
scenty.
small space.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Like
That's also
I
very
chose
true.
to not eat teriyaki beef jerky or peanuts on the plane.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, peanuts. are-
Wait, peanuts?
Well, peanut
Oh,
allergies.
peanut
yeah,
allergies.
peanut allergies.
Inconsiderate much?
But yeah, no, I think there are some relevant comments, so let's get into those. Honestly, the way they were talking about me being racist, I was Googling if I subconsciously, if I could get physically ill from it. Ever just meet people who make you question your sanity because of how serious and genuinely angry they are? And we don't have an actual HR department, just the manager who clearly already knows. Meeting around 3, so we'll see how it goes. But at this point, she's so upset in arms about me being a racist, I don't know if manager would even want to deal with the backlash. As far as pretending her parents are Korean, it's not that she acts as if they are, but she talks constantly about her birth parents as if they are her parents. Well, they are. And talks about Korea as if she was raised there. I mean, that's all she ever talks about, really. My mom and dad were Buddhists, so I keep their stuff with me. And her desk is covered in spiritual stuff from them, but it's all stuff she bought. Her actual mom and dad, who have come to the office before, are so sweet and nice, and she acts friendly to them, but calls them by first name basis. Mind you, this is a 26-year-old who never met her birth parents, was adopted around 1 year old, and has never been back to Korea since then. Basically, she talks as if parents are Korean immigrants, and she was raised by them with their culture, while the sweet couple who raised and spoiled her, she pretends doesn't exist.
Ooh.
And Opie says, I never said she couldn't eat it or bring it, just asked her very politely to follow the rule everyone else does. So this is already a rule.
What,
this is not
like,
saying, because it would be a
stinky
totally
poodle?
different thing if
Yeah.
everyone was like, you can't eat that, because that would be, you know,
I've
not
specifically
good.
asked Sophia not to eat meat anymore, and she's done that because of it stinks when she makes it. So now she's pescatarian.
Yeah, I did it for Riley, not for any other reason.
It's
Um,
confirmed Sophia's got stinky meat.
I guess, do you mean? But yeah, no, I think that would be a different problem. But it seems like OP was literally just asking. It seems like OP was trying to be respectful. It really depends on how she asked about it and like what the policy is around it and stuff, and whether or not it actually smells. Because sometimes people are, you know, pretty dramatic. OP seems awfully judgmental of relationships that don't affect her. I do agree. It does seem she's making a lot of assumptions about a person's like relationship to their culture.
Yeah, she's dropping
Yeah,
the.
that is
she's never
true.
even been to
She's never even
Korea.
been there. It's like, well, okay.
doesn't
she
respect
can
her-
still
it's
want
like,
a
do you-
relationship
do you
with
know that?
culture.
How does she
Yeah.
know that?
Little mixed bag here. But
I mean, if she called out the girl and being like, your disgusting South Korean vomit food needs to go away.
that would be different.
And so do you.
That
Back
would
to
be
wherever
racist.
you came from
Yeah.
because I hate you. Then it's
That-
like, all
it's
right.
like, oh, well,
there we go.
yeah, that's pretty easy.
Do I sense a little racism in that response?
Why am I the a-hole for wanting my desk space to not reek? It's shared space by everyone, and there is a designated space for food because of this exact reason. So please, God, I don't understand what I did wrong. About the smell. Yesterday's meal looked like fettuccine Alfredo made with rice noodles, but genuinely smelled like spoiled milk. I'm weirdly not bothered by fish in general by any means. I actually fish and will clean my own fish. I mentioned tuna since it was the first smelly, non-cultural related dish I could think of. Her food doesn't smell fishy by any means. It smells more like expired milk.
Okay, I see the problem here. I think you should just call her a bad cook. I think that's really what you should have just done in the first place.
That's the problem here. So I think she's genuinely using expired ingredients. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not like strong smelling food, but actually bad. I would say the same to any food that smelled genuinely rotten. As I said in the main post, it's not that the smell is intense. It is actually genuinely bad, like spoiled milk. My best friend growing up were Vietnamese, and though their food smells can be intense and different, it was never like this. I don't care what culture the food is from. I have nothing against Korean food. I actually love KBBQ and have a mom and pop I frequent, which again smells really intense, but not bad. I cannot emphasize enough that it has nothing to do with cultural food, but with however she's cooking the dishes. Did anyone else hear / what do others think? Everyone was in the office and heard it. My 3 unmentioned coworkers who share the small space all agreed with me and thanked me end of day yesterday, but they're also terrified of my Korean coworker as she is quick to be offended, and everyone kind of walks eggshells, so I don't know how willing they would be to stand up for me. There are security cameras, so manager could even check, but I was starting to genuinely be afraid that it was racist to ask her not to eat at her desk since the food is Korean. This isn't something I've ever dealt with before, and by all means, I really was polite and genuine as I possibly could be with her. I never said they can't bring it at all. She's the only person who eats at her desk. I had limited text, but my other 3 coworkers who walk on eggshells around her thanked me after work. The only person who didn't agree with me also called me racist because they are her best friend outside of work, not just at work. I genuinely have no issue with her bringing food, but when everyone else eats in the break room or out of the office, why should we all have to struggle with the smell at our desks? Moreover, it's not that her food is cultural or intense. I genuinely think she's using expired ingredients. OP is really honing in on that. They're like, it's not the cultural, it's expired.
I've genuinely never heard of somebody just being like, probably because I don't hang out with a bunch of racists, but just hating a food because it's culturally like from some other culture.
Yeah.
I don't like it because it smells like it's expired.
I mean, that is
Right?
like a thing that a lot of people have dealt with. Like
I
a lot
just
of
can't
kids
fathom it.
who have bringing like cultural foods to school get, crapped on. And they're like, oh, what's that? Disgusting.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like those are, these people are 26.
Yeah.
Like these are adults, not children. Like children are
Children
idiots.
are everywhere. Children are
Children
in your
are
hearts.
the most racist people on the earth.
A lot of adults are. Actually, I feel like that's not entirely true.
Have you ever played a Call of Duty lobby with 12-year-olds?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they get after it. There's never a way to like excuse racism, but like I don't know, if you're like a fully formed like adult and you're like, oh gross, like Korean food, ugh, those stinky Koreans could never eat in front of me. It's like you're an idiot. But also, if this woman is like, you know, making her like fettuccine Alfredo with expired milk, and then is being like, you hate Korean people. It's like, first of all, fettuccine Alfredo is not Korean.
Not a Korean.
Okay? Just because you made it with glass noodles does not make it Korean.
I want to know what the dish is.
She probably learned it from her white parents.
It doesn't smell a lot. It smells bad, like spoiled. And FYI, there is a sign in the break room that seems to keep all meals in the kitchen. That's why I think OP could have just kind of circumnavigated this by going straight to the boss and being like, hey, can we like, you know, some people are eating in the break in the office. Can we eat in the break room? Why does her heritage matter? / why did OP include that information? I included these details due to what she's saying on social media. Her saying that I insulted her Korean immigrant parents because they taught her to cook when she has never met her Korean parents is relevant because she's blatantly lying. She went as far as saying I told her to go back to her country, calling her and her family slurs.
Whoa! Dude. That person would never make it as a chef.
Oh, if someone was like, your food is not good?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have Gordon Ramsay try it. My issue was her home cooking smelling like death. Not intense, but awful. I didn't even know it was Korean until she started calling me racist. But as far as how she talks about her family, I was answering someone's questions who was curious and who her family is matters when, again, she's straight up lying all over social media about it involving me being racist. Which, again, I haven't done. I don't think she's aware there are security cameras in her office and there's legitimate proof I haven't done any of the things she's saying. I need to really emphasize I effing love fettuccine Alfredo and whatever disaster she home cooked was not how it's supposed to smell. My other 3 coworkers also are ready to vomit at all of her home cooked meals. I don't know what this crazy lady is putting in her food, but something is very, very wrong and I'm not the only one smelling it. 4 out of 6 office employees are ready to vomit, and the only one other than her who isn't has self-proclaimed that they have no sense of smell. I can swear to you, it is a miracle this woman is surviving, let alone thriving off whatever the F she's cooking. The abomination of food she called fettuccine Alfredo is not anything I would deem edible. I love that OP was like trying to be really, you know, careful about it, and then after the comments was like, you know what? I hate her food.
Yeah.
Her food sucks. All of it sucks.
I was trying to be delicate, but you know what's not delicate? The flavor profile on that disgusting excuse of a pile of barf that you brought in and called fettuccine Alfredo.
No, I think that the coworker is definitely taking it. I mean, if she's lying on social media. There is a wide mix of responses, and since the post was deleted, I don't know the final judgment. Update comment later that day. The meeting was gold. And I have to start with my favorite part. The food wasn't Korean.
Wow.
Damn,
Whoa.
guys. Okay. Woo! It was indeed, as suspected, fettuccine Alfredo. That's right. Y'all are mad at me for finding Korean foods smelling bad, and it wasn't even Korean. This unhinged woman lies know no limits. So to start, she came in the morning and went straight to manager's office, told him all the racist things I said about her food and such, and was crying in hysterics. Like absolute hysterics. My manager came out after and asked for the meeting, then went back over the past few hours and watched every interaction we had together over the last day and a half. We have security cameras in the office due to working with some sensitive information. What we say and to who on the phone can legally matter a lot. So we all know we're being watched, but maybe coworker thought that was a lie? Forgot? Who knows? Lo and behold, though, I didn't say or do anything racist and was only asking her to follow rules insanely politely. Opie's like, I freaking wasn't racist, guys. Okay. Moreover, when he watched me leave the office yesterday, he watched me say goodbye to everyone. And apparently right after I left, Sam started asking the coworker about the food, saying she told him she was making fettuccine Alfredo and that it didn't look Korean, and the idiot confirmed.
Whoa.
Wow, what a
Stupid.
dumb, stupid idiot.
Stupid. Apparently, she thought I was assuming it was Korean because of how she looks and that I was being racist. I don't think OP even said like, "Hey, could you get your Korean food out of here?" OP was like, "Hey, do you mind eating in the break room?"
Yeah, if you're going to eat spoiled milk for lunch, can you do it not next to me? Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah.
She's like, you're racist. You must hate Koreans.
Yeah. Lily Bonita says OP's racist to Italians, not Koreans.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we've got it.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, there we go.
She assumed because she looks Korean that me asking her to eat in the break room was an insult to Korean food and decided to just lie around that assumption. The most unhinged crap I have ever heard in my entire life. I don't know who to be mad at more. My 3 coworkers who didn't tell me the crap was cheesy noodles, the culprit for lying this good goddamn badly, or Sam for knowing and gaslighting me so badly I thought I was going crazy. Yeah, Sam literally was like, it's not the same as my tuna because it's cultural.
My tuna has no culture.
But you
can
know
hate
what?
My cultureless tuna.
But you know what you can't hate? Joining us live every weekday at 3 p.m. for live.
Yeah, that's
at
you can't
PST.
hate that. You can't
Top
hate
our
it.
profile.
If you hate it, we will ban you.
We'll ban you.
No, but
We won't.
We also won't do that because
My-
you're free to say whatever you
Yeah,
want.
but there is a little bit more to this. But honestly, I think next time just go straight to your boss and say, "Hey, can we enforce the rules here?" Don't even bring up specific coworkers. It can just be like, "Hey, some people were eating in the office. Can we just eat in the break room?"
Yeah, I get, if you work within
If it truly is a
the
problem.
gears
Yeah.
and the levers of a bureaucracy, which would be the office, right?
Mhm.
There is the hierarchy of sort of control and power there. Just go straight to the person who has the authority to tell everyone what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And
You don't
have
even go
them
to her.
tell.
If you know she's a problem, maybe Opie didn't, but if you know she's a problem,
She's
Then
South
just-
Korean, so we know she's a problem.
you're making really risky jokes, man.
Guys, it's
He's finding
it's
the
not-
line.
It's come on. I love like what did OP say? Like that's not
I love
like,
KBBQ.
I love
guys.
Korean barbecue. How could I hate South Korean people?
Dakota was just at KBBQ, guys. Don't worry.
literally I ate so much of it last night that it made me sick.
Wait,
Yeah.
you didn't have that last night. You said you had other things.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's I did.
Wait, you did?
And then I had more stuff after it that made me actually physically ill. and it
Oh,
wasn't
that's what
Korean
it was. That's
food.
what it was. Okay, I was not listening
Yeah.
to your story earlier.
I wish that I lived in South Korea, honestly. That place rocks.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
my boss, thank God, was extremely chill about it with me, and we ended up shooting the crap for a short bit about some nerd stuff, and he told me she's being put on 2-week leave while he and the owner figure out how to fire her. Damn.
Whoa.
Without her just trying to sue and to try and relax a bit. She's definitely going to be like, "You're firing me. It's discrimination."
Yeah.
If
She
that was her
definitely is.
reaction. That's absolutely going to be it.
She's unhinged, but she's got to get out of there. She's a liability to the business.
He also already had screenshots of her socials, and the company will be threatening legal action if she doesn't take it down. However, he did advise me, as many of you guys did, to consider a lawyer or restraining order because this thing is so unhinged.
Truly unhinged, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I'm not effing crazy. As much as I felt like it all god dang day, effing fettuccine Alfredo. And there are some relevant comments to finish us off. Dude, on God, it shouldn't smell like that. I effing love fettuccine Alfredo. This woman should not be allowed within a 100-foot radius of a kitchen. I don't know how you could mess up something that bad. But when I say it smelled rancid, it was bad. I love how many comments from OP are literally just saying, "It's rancid. It's bad. You don't understand."
It's soiled.
No, like her cooking was all that bad, no matter what she brought. One day she made chicken noodle soup and it was so notably pungent like a wet cloth shoe that was worn all day. She even offered people to taste it, and one of our other coworkers was so desperately curious as to why it smelled like that and risked it for the biscuit. They ended up vomiting later that day and saying it was the worst thing they ever tasted. I don't know what's wrong with their taste buds or sense of smell, but holy God, I don't even know how anyone could be so oblivious.
How is she alive?
How is she alive?
That
That's my
description,
question.
that got me, dude.
Yeah,
The,
I'm just wondering-
The cloth, oh, God.
I want to know how like her stomach is handling this. That's my question.
Oh, she's got the iron gut.
yeah.
Dude, she's gonna
No,
definitely
yo,
survive
strong.
She
whenever
needs to
everything
have
goes to
her
crap.
gut biome studied.
Yeah.
Really, really, really.
My coworker accused me of lying about the apartment I was renting, so I confronted her.
She's the liar.
To start out, I want to provide some background. Everyone in this story is in their 20s. My husband and I worked with this guy back in 2018/2019. Let's call him Jake. Jake wasn't a great manager, making bets with other managers on who can who can have spicy time with the most female employees.
Sounds like a really bad manager.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
not...
like a manager you should report.
Hopefully he's losing his bets.
I hope so.
He'd go on weird power trips and showed no respect for anyone unless it was to better him in some way. By the way, this comes from user Sad Tuna Salad on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my husband and I ended up quitting before the pandemic, and he got fired as the pandemic started. I decided to come back to this place a year after they got new management. I enjoyed the job before, so I wasn't upset about going back. Well, Jake's girlfriend, Mindy, started working there this year as well. I feel like everyone who had previous experience with Jake gave her a fair shot. She was nice, and we became kind of close. I got her birthday present. She got me some as well. Things were chill.
Chill.
Mindy was traveling about 40 minutes to work. She would complain about how she can't cook, eat, or do anything while living in Jake's mom's basement more often than not. There's a dog in my lap. Hello. Oh, she's so cute. Look at her. How am I supposed to read a story when I got all this cuteness down here? What the heck? Hello. Okay, hold on, but I have to keep reading. Okay.
Hey, but come over here.
Fast forward to these last 3 weeks. I have a side job of cleaning. I've been doing it for about 5 years, so I'm not an amateur. My old landlord from the same town we both work in contacted me to clean a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. This place was about 4 minutes away from work. Rough shape, but not unlivable. He charges $800 a month for this particular unit, so I put out feelers to the people I work with if anyone would be interested in taking this place before he put it up to the market. Well, Jake saw my post and told me to contact Mindy. I did, and Mindy said she would love to check the place out. Great!
There we go.
It sounds like this is a
it's all working
situation
out.
where everybody gets to win.
Everyone's winning here. Nothing's going to go wrong.
Nothing could possibly go wrong. What? They went there and toured it, said they wanted it, so my old landlord said they could move in the 1st of this month. I did put in 8 hours worth of work into this place to get it good enough for my old landlord to show. He said the 8 hours of this work looked great and he was satisfied. I personally would have spent another 4 hours worth of work on it, but I was told to leave it be. Once I learned Mindy was going to move in with Jake, I told her the place wasn't cleaned to my standards. So I would offer her my services at half the price to get it completely move-in ready. She agreed, and we let my old landlord know that I would be coming back before the move-in day to clean. Landlord had to do some quick renovations on the bathroom, so I'm assuming he left the post-construction mess for me to clean. I don't mind. Well, Mindy said they had to pay a Wi-Fi fee that wasn't easy on their pockets, so she didn't want me to come by and clean beforehand. I assumed that they would be fine cleaning it themselves, so I thought my part in all of this was done. Wrong. Oh, boy.
Not if I know Mindy.
We got a classic miscommunication / poor communication scenario.
Always happens
from
like
Mindy.
this.
Mindy was like, we got to pay for the Wi-Fi. I don't know if I can afford you cleaning. And then she's like,
gonna be like,
okay,
clean
great.
it, clean it.
She'll be like, how dare you not clean for me?
I can hear it now.
Yeah. 2 days after they move in, I get 6 text messages at 1:30 a.m. from Jake off of Mindy's phone. Oh, I hate that already, where it's like getting a text from someone's number, but it's someone else sending the text.
Ava, come over here.
Ava.
She hates it too. Ava, come here.
She's like, here, sniff into the microphone. Just like text messages from somebody else communicating like as someone or like from someone's phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. It's annoying.
It's
to me.
stupid.
But
Fight your own battles.
This is what the message said. Hey, this is Jake. This crap hole is filthy. What did he have you clean? It looks like nothing was clean. I'm just puzzled why he would let someone move in with this condition. I'm staring at strings of dust hanging from the ceiling over my bed, and I know we were in talks about paying you to clean, but like, we're broke, and frankly, we shouldn't have to. It should already be clean. This is just not what I would have expected from my recommendation.
OP literally told you already told you the conditions and said, hey, I'll clean it. This is just my fee.
Yeah.
She's literally doing it. She's doing a nice thing for you.
Yeah, was trying to give you a discount too,
Yeah.
trying to give you the half price fee.
Literally.
And like, hey, if you move in somewhere and it turns out to be dirty and you can't afford to have a professional clean it,
Clean it.
Hey, it looks like you're going to have to do some cleaning.
Gotta clean it yourself now.
OP responded, "Hey, Mindy, I'm sorry to hear things haven't been going as smoothly as you wanted. I would love to talk about how I can help you out. I will be in Friday and Saturday at work." I can't lie, I was pretty upset to wake up to those messages, already not being a fan of this guy.
Yeah.
My husband saw the messages and got beyond mad and took it upon himself and contacted Jake over Facebook to, quote, "Never talk to me that way again, and I deserve an apology, and how I'm not responsible for the condition of the apartment." Yeah, but hey, W husband right there being like, "Don't talk to my wife like that, you dirty loser."
Ever say.
Yeah.
But now we have two people fighting through their own, like,
Fighting for her honor.
Yeah, no, but he contacted Jake directly and
Oh,
was
okay,
like,
okay.
"I heard you." It'd
I
be
thought it was
funny.
on her phone. Yeah.
No, he's like through her phone. They go back and forth, and my husband ends up telling him if he doesn't apologize, then we're gonna have problems.
We'll have problems. Direct quote.
Yeah, those are real problems. Jake messaged me off of his Facebook. So why is your boyfriend threatening me now?
You know what we need to do?
Mm.
Create a group chat.
Yeah, they need a hating group chat.
Come on, this is getting confusing.
Yeah, group chat for hating behinds. OP responded, "Hey, Jake, you could have messaged me personally. I did tell Mindy that the place wasn't up to my standards, so that's why I offered to come back and deep clean it for you guys. I get things are tight financially right now, and I totally would have been down to do it for a later payment on top of offering my services at half price, which I did.
Yeah.
Also, dust will build up over 3 weeks, which is the last time I touched it. It's an old place. I thought it would be a great place for you guys to start anew. Right down the street from work, no credit check, and a landlord that won't pray for you." They're not going to pray for you, and I think what OP meant to say was they weren't going to pry about you.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, where it's like
They won't pray
the
for you?
landlord's not going to pry into all your business all the time.
I think they're not gonna pray.
That's so
And
sad.
they won't pray for you,
They
which I
wouldn't-
guess is
they won't
kind of the
pray.
same thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it isn't what you imagined, but you guys did check it out before signing the lease.
Yeah.
My husband is upset because waking up to those messages at 6 a.m. wasn't great. I am trying to be as chill as possible because if anyone else messaged me that way, I would have told them to go pee up a pole. You may have thought that it wasn't out of line, but it totally was. And you know what totally isn't out of line? You joining us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. All you got to do is tap that
Not out of
profile.
line, that's in line.
Yeah, that's not out of line whatsoever. We have a little bit of the story
A
left.
little bit of the story.
But-
Yeah, it seems like they're not being grateful for the solid that you did them, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Why isn't it not clean?" It's like, I don't know. You told me not to clean it.
You literally just told me not to.
Yeah, it seems like they just like didn't want to pay OP, and and now are expecting like free stuff.
And she was willing to work out a deal.
Yeah,
And that dude likes to power trip.
yeah. I think I
the power
honestly
trip
think
guy.
that if the coworker and Jake had gone to OP and said, "Hey, this is a little bit out of our budget. Is there any way
Mhm.
that we could work out a deal or an exchange or something so that you can clean the place?" But no, they just went straight to like, "You suck. We hate you. This isn't what we
Yeah.
wanted."
And that's not even really on her. That's more on the
No,
landlord, too.
literally.
It's like, how is it her fault for being the cleaner that the landlord hired 3 weeks ago and now the place is
Literally.
dirty?
Yeah, come on.
It's like,
Come
aren't
on.
you going to have to clean your own apartment at some point as well?
Yeah, you
Like,
gotta figure this
what
out.
what is really going
There's
on
gotta be
here?
cobwebs.
Let's finish this off. Now Mindy is telling my coworkers that I wasn't honest about the apartment, that I maliciously got them to take the place to have another cleaning job and to make a quick buck off of them, and that she no longer wants to associate with me at all and I'm not her friend anymore. So Reddit, give it to me. Am I the a-hole?
No, it seems like she's just a little bit intense and is not very not very grateful.
Yeah, like that's the most unhinged take that you could possibly have, where it's like, she tricked us into moving into an apartment so that she could have a cleaning job.
Yeah.
That lasted
It's like
for
OP's not
a
getting
day.
the landlord fee stuff.
Yeah.
She's not getting paid for this. Okay. Riley's getting socks.
Riley's little tootsies are cold.
They're a little cold.
Riley's got cold little piggies.
Cold.
This little piggy went to market and got cold. And then this little piggy, that's the only one that I know from that song.